All right. So on this video, let's go to our web design. So I'm trying to open. If you're on this live, please let me know. All right. So we are going to be working on this. We are going to be working with the web design. All right. So we are going to be building a website. So and I want you to pay attention, like a very good attention to this tutorial because this tutorial is going to help you to become a professional web design. Please, if you can't hear me, please kindly signify so I will know if you are hearing me or not. All right. So I want you to go to your browser. So okay, let me reshare my screen so you see everything I'm doing. All right. So if you are new to web design, all right. So if you're new to website development, the first thing I want you to do here is I want you to go to your browser. So I'm going to share my screen with you now. So I will share, let me share the entire of my screen. So I'm going to share the entire of my screen with you. Then if you can see my screen, so and you are new to web design, the first thing you are going to do here is we need a code editor where we can write our codes. All right, so we need a code editor where we can write our codes. And to do that, I want you to go to your browser, like I said, then search for visual. So you see like a uh visual studio code. So you can type VS code, you see. So you search, or you could just type a VS code. So you could search for VS code on your system, on your browser, like VS code. It's still the same thing, it's going to come up. So once you click on it, you see this one here, Visual Studio Code, and you click on the first link. All right, so you can say this is a website where you get the Visual Studio Code. All right, so I want you to click. If you are on Window, I believe the option is going to be the first one here. You just click on download for Windows. All right, so and if you are not for on Window, or you have maybe you are using Mac or any other operating system, please just scroll. Or nevertheless, once you visit there, depending on your operating system, you are going to see the one that is suitable um for your system. So just click on download, and it will download automatically. All right. Since I have it, I'm not going to download it again. So please download it now so you join us as we proceed. All right. So now I'm going to minimize my browser. Then I'm going to come to my screen. So you can see this is my home screen. So this is my Visual Studio Code here. Look at my Visual Studio Code. So I have it open already. So I'll just click on here. So now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create a folder and I'm going to create a file. So to do that, I'll click here. All right. So I'm going to say new. All right. So I'm going to say new folder. So it's going to be like me trying to open a new folder because we don't have a folder before. So I'll click on new folder. So they are going to ask me where do I want to create this folder. Since it's a tutorial, I will just click on my desktop. All right. So I'm going to create the folder here. So I will just create a new folder. So I could just say YouTube. Okay, let me just say web design 2025 tutorial. So you can, all right, so hold on. So I'm going to cut this. So I will just copy this. All right, so here, right click. If you're on your system like this, I want you to right click here. Right click on your system, go to new. So you can try create a folder, click on folder, then paste the name. What did I just do? I thought I caught something. I copied something really cool. So yeah, I'm still going to write the same thing. So I will just say web design 2025 tutorial. Then I'll click on. Then the folder is what I'm going to select. All right. So you see, I'm going to select the folder. Then I'll come back here. So now I just select the folder I created. All right, so you can see now I have my folder here. So the next thing I'm going to do here, I will just click here. You see, I have my folder now. All right, so if you are on this stage with me, please kindly drop a comment. Kindly drop a comment so I'll know what you are doing. If you are at this stage with me, please kindly drop a comment so I'll know exactly what you are doing, please. So I'll know exactly what you are doing before we proceed. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. All right, so now I'm going to continue. I will proceed at once. I'll proceed at once. So I'll proceed at once. All right, so here now, if you look at this here, you can see if I click here, you see new folder and here is new file. All right, so I'm going to click on the new file now. All right, and if you can't do that, you can click on this file and click on, you see file, new text file. All right, you can do it whichever one you like, but for me I will just like come here, I will do my index dot html. All right, so then I'll click on, I'll click on enter. All right, so I just create my first html. So I just create my first html file. So the next thing I'm going to do now, let's create our other file. So I'm still going to click here. I will click here. Then I will say style dot css. That is what I'm going to create right now. So I will say style dot css. So I will just say dot css. So I'll click on enter still. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do now, since we are going to have like a JavaScript to it. So I'm still going to create another one, new file. So I'll just click on um since this file is JavaScript, so I will just say script .js. So I'll click on enter. So now we have our HTML file, we have our JavaScript file, then we have our CSS file. All right, so let's proceed with our HTML file. So the first thing we are going to do here now, so we are going to write some codes, some HTML file now. So that's exactly what we are going to do. So you know how to bring the normal HTML document out. You click on your shift plus hold your shift down, then click on one to bring this sign come outside, then you click enter. All right, so once I click enter now, it's going to come out like this. So these are the documents for HTML. All right, so these are the document for HTML. So the next thing I'm going to do right now, so I'm going to edit some stuff to my name. So I'm going to put the name here. So let's just have I'm going to change it to like cargo. All right, so I will change this place. Let me see. Cargo. Let me just say cargo logistics. So I will just say cargo, cargo. So this name here is going to sound is going to represent the name of the website we are doing. All right, logistics. All right, so we have the name here now. So the next thing we are going to do here, we are going to link our CSS. So I will just like link the CSS at once. So I will just say link. All right, so I just link the CSS. All right. So you see me when I write the link, it's pump up. Then I say link. You see, um, rel, then the style sheet, then the href, then style.css, which is the CSS file you are seeing here. This is the file we created and we just linked it. All right. Please, if you are on the same page with me, kindly signify. Let me know so I can proceed. So I can proceed. All right. So I can proceed. Then the next stuff we are going to do here now, since we link it, we are going to start working on the body. All right, so and to do that, I will just come here. Then we are going to work on the header first. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to bring the header. So I'll bring the header tag. So I'll type header since I'll be working with the header. So I'll select this. All right, so I'll select this. I'll close it. So within this header, I'm going to have so I'm just taking my time doing this so you will understand very, very well. All right, so you understand very well. So within here, I'm going to have like a logo, or this going to sound act like the main name on the page. So here I'm going to have H1. So I'll just H1. All right. So inside this H1, I'm going to have this name here. So let me just copy it and paste here. So I just copy it and paste here. All right, so I'm going to do it like this. Then I'm going to have the p tag. All right, so inside this p tag, I'm going to have a words like our slang. So it's going to be your reliable, real. So reliable logistic partner. So I will just say logistics. Okay, I have it. Then I'll just say parts now. All right, so I have this now. So the next thing I'm going to have here, I'll just close this. leave, go to the end of the header, click enter. So I'm trying to write this code. So um hello, Gawa Dona Shane Pojin Alutomo and now believing now yourself. LLM from my also. Mm. Alright, so get on. All right, so now, so let's go. Let's have the nav bar. So I'm going to click on nav. So anything I'm doing, I like making use of the tag so everyone will understand that this part is nav. So here I'm going to click on enter. So I'm going to click on enter. Then I'm going to have let's have the, since it's going to be a redirection header, maybe you click on it, going to take you to a place or another page. So we are going to have this inside the href. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to uh have the href here. So I'll like have the a. So I'm going to take off this. Okay. So here, since I don't have a link yet, so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to post. Then here I'm going to have the service because I want here to be service. So and I want inside here too to be service. Whatever things is here, that's the one that is going to be here. So change this to capital letter. All right, so we are going to do it for three. So let's have about us and contact us. So I'm going to like copy this since I'm making use of the three, and so I'll just like, so I'm going to change here to about us, about. So I'll just like write about here. Why here is going to be about us. So here is going to be contacts. So I will say contacts. So I'm going to take this one off as well and write contacts. Contacts. So this is what we have. This is what we have. All right. So this is what we have. You can see everything I'm doing is not even inside any div yet. All right. So you can see it's not in any div yet. So I want you to download a plugin. So I want you to download Live Server. Download Live Server so you'll be able to view your project. So for me now, I can decide to view my project from here, or I will just go to my folder, the folder I created. You see, so if I click on the folder I created, and let me see. All right. So this is how what everything we are designing. This is how it look like. Since the HTML is not there, sorry, the CSS is not there. That's why it looks so messed up. So what we are going to do now, we are going back to here, then to proceed with our code. All right. So let's proceed with our codes. So the next thing I'm going to do here now, I'll continue with my div. So this time I've not make use of div now, so I'm going to make use of div and class. So make sure you type everything and type. That is how to write code. All right, it's all about the practice. All right, so okay, so the class name here. So let me just call it container. The class name should be container. Click enter, it's going to come up with the class. So I'm going to open here. So we are going to write some code inside. So inside the container, I'm going to have a section. So I will just have a section, this one here. So this section now is going to have ID. So I'm going to give this section an ID. So I will just give it an ID. So the ID name is going to be service. It's going to have a an ID and class. So let me give it service. We have it here. So I'm going to have a class as well. So I'll just have class. So class is still going to be service. All right. So the reason why we are picking all this is because there will be a place that I want to work on ID. All right, and I want any thing I am applying on the ID should work only based on the ID, and anything on class should work based on class. All right. Like if I'm picking a class, I can work on the on these three at once, but ID don't. ID is just like normal ID card. All right. So your normal ID card, my ID card, you cannot use my ID card to access what belongs to me because the ID is assigned to me alone. But class, you like a class can be the things that a group of people make use of. So presenting one will affect whichever ones that follow. So I believe you are, understanding this thing gradually. So the next thing I'm going to do now, inside here, I'm going to have inside here. So I'm going to bridge it. Then here I'm going to have H2. So I'll just have H2 here. So inside the H2, I'm going to have service. So I'm going to have a service, and here after the H2, let's have a list. So I will just okay, let's have a list. So inside here, I'm going to list some stuff like the li. So here I'm going to have freight forwarding. So it's going to be forwarding. All right, so I'll just copy since I'm going to have a list about 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'll just change this one to warehouse and distribution. So let's have a warehouse and all right. So here we are going to have custom clearance. So let's have custom clearance. So here I'm going to have road transport, and the last one air and sea cargo. So let's have then the last one we are going to have cargo, air and sea cargo. All right. So we have about so the next one I'm going to do now, I'll come down here. I'll come down here, then another section. And this section now is going to be the section that is going to contain the about. This section now contain the service. So this one is going to contain the about. All right. So we are going to do most of all the CSS today, the HTML today, while tomorrow we proceed with um the CSS. So I'm going to have another section, and this section is going to be the same like the one we have before, but with different stuff. All right, so with different stuff. So what we are going to do now is we're done with service. So let's have another section for the about. So I'll click on section again, select this. So here we are going to have ID. Should not be new to you again. So about, we have a class about. All right, so inside here we are going to have h2 normal. So the h2 is going to be about still. So we are going to have about us. All right, so we are going to have the p tag. The p tag stands for paragraph tag. So here I'm going to have we are a leading cargo, and logistics company committed to deliver your goods safely. So let me just company committed to deliver your goods safely. All right, so we done with that. So the next one I'm going to have, this one is not much. So the next one I'm going to have another section with an ID or and for the contacts. All right, so I will just go for another section like this. So another section with ID, contacts, then a class, a class, con- contacts. Then we are going to have the H2. So the H2 here is going to be contacts, contacts us. Y, we are going to have, let's have a form element. So I'm going to have a form tag like this. All right, so I'm going to take all this off first. Let's just say the form. So I'm going to bridge it. So inside the form here, I'm going to have label. So the label is going to have four, and there is going to be name. So inside here, I'm going to have a name. Please make sure you do exactly as I'm doing. So it's going to come with an input. So I'm going to like have an input with it. So it's going to come with inputs. So the input is going to have text. Then I'm going to have an ID for it. So an ID, name, give it an ID name, and it's still going to have a placeholder. So the placeholder is going to be enter your name, and I'm going to make this place here compulsory, so I'm going to say required. So I'm going to say I'm trying to take this off. I don't know why this thing don't want to go off. To be honest, I don't know. So please bear with me. All right, so that's for that. So the next one is going to be email. So let me just copy this. Let me just copy these two stuff inside it. Then I'm going to paste it. So I'll just paste it. So here I'm going to change for this for here is going to be for email. So I'll just change this to email. Then here it's going to be email. All right, that's for the label. Then here is going to the input is going to be email where it say text. So it's going to be email. All right, so the ID is going to be email. So here is going to be enter your email. That's the placeholder. Then like I said, it's still going to be a required one. Then the last one is text. We are going to still have the label, so I will just copy one label here. All right, so we are going to have a label for that. So the label is going to be for is going to be message. Here is going to be message. So message. All right, so since we are making use of maybe like a little bit text, so we are going to use the tags text area for that this tag here. So text area. So and the text area is going to have uh let me see. So the text area is going to have an ID. So change this to ID, and the ID is going to be message. It's going to be message, and we are going to have like a row. So it's going to be rows. So the rows is going to be five. Yes. So the placeholder is going to be your message, and it's going to be required. So it's still going to have a placeholder. So we are going to have your message, and it's going to be required still. All right, so we are going to have a button for that. So you see, everything is happening inside the form element. So here we are going to have a button. So a button for that, and this button now we are going to give this button a type. So the button should have a type. So the type of this button is going to be, since it's a sending message, so it's going to be submit. So inside here, we are going to say send inquiry. Inquiry. All right. So that is all for that. So now at the bottom of everything, we are going to have just go to the end of this div, then click on enter. Then you come here. So I'm going to make use of another tag called footer. Like I say, I just like doing my stuff for anyone to know that okay, oh, this is what I do. So at the bottom here, I'm going to have the B tag. So I will just have the P tag, the paragraph tag, and inside this, sorry, so inside this paragraph tag, so I'm going to have this. Watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to write the copyright stuff. So I'm going to write this, then going to copy, should see. So this, that, I think, yeah, that's that. I'm going to write 2025 cargo logistics in full, then all rights reserved. So it's going to be like all rights rights reserved. All right, so I have that there now. So after that, after the end, at the bottom here, so I like linking my JavaScript since you guys know we have not like link it. So I will just come here and link it. So here is going to be like scripts. Look at it, and I'll click on enter. So I save all my work. I like saving all my works. So because I already have the auto save. So let's view our stuff on the browser. You can see the nonsense we are having here. So we are having error. So we are having error. I think there is a mistake somewhere. Okay, after reflection, I think everything is back where now. You see, everything is back where, but I'm seeing something that I don't supposed to see. See that act? All right. So, um, if we have the, you see, you can write message here. Here is the email. Here's the email. Send inquiry. All right. Since we don't have the CSS there now, that is why the whole thing looks so messed up. All right. So let's go back to our codes. So I'm going to take off this because I find that this comma is showing up there. All right, so I will just take that off. Okay, let me see how many minutes we have spent so far. All right, Williams Hill, thanks for joining. Manuel Trees, thanks for joining. I don't know all those names. So I hope you guys are getting me. Are you guys getting me at all? Are you guys getting me at all? Should I proceed? Williams, Emmanuel, Trace, should I proceed? All right, so I think it's time for us to go through the CSS. So we are done with this. So if you are finding any error, please just let me know. If you are facing any error, please let me know so I can put you through. Drop your comments. Drop comments. If you are facing any error, let me know. Please, if you can't hear me, kindly signify so I will know, please. So I believe everybody. All right. So if you all have it now, so I will just continue. I'll proceed. So I won't take your time. I won't take your time. So now let's go to the CSS. I believe everybody have copied this code already. So let's go to the CSS now. So to do that, I will just look at the file here. We have the style.css here. So I will just click on this. We have nothing on it, and you know that we already link this stuff. All right, so we are going to start writing the code ASAP. So to do that, the first thing we are going to do, we are going to start working from the body. So let's work on the body. So I'm going to tag the body here since we are working on the body. So I'll just type the body here. So there's nothing, hard about coding. All right, all you just have to do is paying attention. So this is the method of you learning. As I am teaching you, make sure you listen very well. Then you practice. See, no matter how you watch somebody code, if you are not practicing, there is no how on earth you like know everything on your head. All right, so let's work on the body. So I will work on the font. So I will work on the fonts first. So I will go with the font family. All right, so font family. Let me see. All right, so I'm thinking about the font family should be. Let's go with let's go with area. So we are going to have the area, comma, then sans sans serif. That is how they used to call it. Me, I don't know for them. So we have this one here. Hold on. I think I'm facing one error that I don't know where the error is coming from. Okay, okay. Please, this is not the bracket you should use, please. All right, this is not the bracket you should use. This is not the bracket you should use. So that's the bracket that you are going to use. Let me bring it now. All right, so the bracket we are going to use, this is it. So I'll click on enter, then I'll copy this back. So this is it. So sorry about that, guys. So sorry about that. All right, so this is where we are still here. So the next thing I'm going to do now, I'm going to like the margin and line height. So let me work on that. So the margin should be, so all the margin should be 0. So I'll just like put 0 there. Then padding should be 0 still. Then let's have the line height, line 1.6. All right, so for that, that is for that. So the next thing I'm going to work on now is the header. If you guys can remember, So I'm going to bring the background. So let's have the background. Background should be okay. Let me select this color and see what. So I'm going to make use of color code because I don't know this color and I don't want to stress myself. So hmm, so 7BFF. All right, so it's blue. You see that? All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is color. So background color is different from normal color. This color here refers to the text. So I'm going to put this text to white, but instead of white, I will just select FFF. So that's for white. That's the color code for white. So the next thing I'm going to do here, I'm going to do the padding side. So the padding here, there should be a space between. So 20 pixel. So it's going to have a 20 px. Then I'm going to have space then 0. So I'm going to align the text to center. So I'll just click on text align. So I'll just say text align center. All right. So for that's for that. So I'm going to have the header. Then remember we have inside the header we have h1. So let's work on this. So I'm going to bring the curly brace, then click on enter still. Then here I'm going to have a margin. So the margin should be 0. Then let's have the font size. Like let's add up or let's give it a font size. Who is there? Good morning. Good morning. Thank you. So what we are going to have now is sorry about that, guys. Okay, I was saying something. Can somebody remind me? Okay, the font size. So the font size here, I'm going to have two. Let's have 2 points, 2.5 pm. So let's have it. Let's have this. All right, on the CSS. So the next thing I'm going to work on here, now I'm going to work on the header and the P. So I'm going to work on the header and the P, right? Yes, right. So here, let's have the margin. Let's give the margin 10 pixel, 10 pixel. Say it here. Then space it. Give it a 0. Give it 0. Then the font size should be 1.2. Font size, this should be one. Sorry, font size 1.2 em again. So it's going to be a 1.2 em. All right. So let's take a look at what we are doing. Let's see if there is any effect on that. So you see this is awesome. You can see how we move this from here to this place. So you can see. So this is the two stuff we just like work on, this background here and this. You can see. So the more we continue working, the more Google stuff we are going to have. All right. So the more Google, I hope everybody is paying attention to this. I hope everybody is paying attention to this. So let's go back to my VS Code. Yeah. So the next thing we are going to do now, let's work on the nav. So I'll just type nav, then the curly brace. Then I'm going to work on the background. So I'll just select the background, then the color code of. So this color code is going to be 0056B3. All right. So okay. So I'm going to have a padding of 10. Padding should be 10 pixel. So text align again should be center. So the text align should be center. All right. So I'm going to. So let's work on the A. Look what we are working on here. So we just work on this nav bar. So we are working on this A now. So let's go back there. So now we're working on the A. So curly brace, enter. So I will say color. The color should still be white. We have it, which is FFF. Then text decoration. Uh since we have it underlined, so we are going to like no decoration should be on it, so we are going to say text decoration should be none. Let's make the margin, so the margin is going to be 0 space then 15 pixel. Then the font size should be 1.1 em. Hmm. So now let's work on the over effect so that anytime somebody move mouse on it, it's going to have an effect. So to do that, I will still say nav, then the A, then I'm going to have this and over this. So here I'm going to say text decoration should be underlined. So underline. So we are done with that. So now let's go to the class, and to write class, so it's going to be a dot. So the dot now with the name of the class. So I'm going to say container. So I believe that's the class name. So I'm going to verify now. This is what we are working on. This this one here. You can copy if you are not sure about the name, so you can copy so there won't be like error with it. All right, so inside here I would say the padding should be 20 pixel. So that's all for that. Okay, let's take a look at our project. So you see, look at what we have here. You see that there is no line and see the color difference. So is there any time that you place your mouse that the underline is going to come here? All right. So there is a missing stuff here. So I'm going to like recorrect that stuff. See, there is a missing stuff here. I'm going to recorrect that stuff now. So I'll go back to my code, go back here, and go back to where we list. So here the closing stuff is gone. So bring it back. So I have it back now. So I'll go back here. So I'll work on the service, the about. I'm going to do the three at the same time. So let's work on service, about, and contact. So I just con, con okay, let's start with service. Okay, kill I need. Okay, mélòó ni kí wọ́n kọ́ lẹ́nu? Okay, okay, wọ́n máa kọ wọ́n sí. Okay, okay. All right, so you have to add comma to it since you are going to work on a multiple ID. So here is going to be about, then another comma, then the other one is contacts. Then you have your margin. Let's have it as 20 pixel, 30 pixel. Then space it and put 0. So let's have padding 20, put 0. So let's have the background. The background should be, okay. Let's have F4, F4. All right. So the next thing we are going to have a border radius for that. So you should know what a border radius is, like a coffee stuff at the edge like this. So border radius should be 8. So I'm going to save this to see if it take effect before we proceed. So okay, yeah, there is an effect on it. Look at this, the stuff we work on, these three. You see that there is a difference between them. You see how it curves everything. It curves everything, right? It curves them. So let's proceed. Let's proceed. Let's proceed. This is awesome. This is awesome. So the next thing we are going to work on now, we are still going to pick up this stuff here and work on the HH2. So I'm going to like just pick all this, come to this line. Then what I'm going to do here, I will just add the H2, H2, then H2 before the curly brace, then enter. Awesome. So let's have a margin button. So it should be 15 for each other, 15 pixel. Yeah, so this is what we need for that. Then now, so I will go to next one, then I will go to service. So the service now I'm going to work on the UL. So like the UL, then I'm going to come here. So list. So I'm going to say the list style should be none. Alright, so the style there should be none. So all those dot by the side will go off. You can cross check before applying yours. So I'll go to the padding 0. Alright, so I'm going to so back to the service too. So the service with the li. Alright, now to the li. So let's have the li, the background and the color background. So let's have a 007. Let's have 007 BFF. Hmm. Then let's have color to be FF, then margin 10 space 0. Alright, so we have this. So let's give it padding still. Let's give it 10 pixel. Then the border radius should be 4. So let's give it a 4 pixel for that. So I think that is all for now. So we still have about the next thing we are going to do next now is we are going to start working from So we are going to start working from the contact, all right, the form element, and so we are going to work from the form. So let's take a look at what we have. Then the next thing is going to be our JavaScript. All right, so does this I think what we did, I'm not seeing the effect of what we did, so let me go back and see. Let's see. On the links, we have the service, we all right, so this is it. So after the little adjustments, now you can see that there is a kind of difference there. So I think I use a capital letter instead of small letter. That was what happened. So this is where we are, our service, and this is how we were able to do some play around. So the next thing now, we are going to work on this too, on how to arrange the form. So thanks for watching the video today. So by tomorrow we'll continue, then we'll proceed, right? We'll proceed.